Okay, hello everyone. This is our very first podcast. So we just wanted to come on and introduce ourselves and kind of tell you what we were talking about, what this podcast is about. I'm Jamie Britt.
I'm Heath Britt.
And together we are E14.
E14.
We're dual mill.
We know how to add.
we're dual mill. We have a great amount of years of experience, 40 years of experience together if you combine all of our naval experience. And so we wanted this to kind of be like a Dear Abby show where you, our listeners, write in, you ask us situations or, problems you have that we might be of assistance. So before we get started, just want to let you know that the views expressed here in this podcast are not those of the Navy or our respective commands or of our respective rates, and they are just our opinions, and that's it.
Just opinions we have over experience through the years. I think we have 40 years combined, approximately.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of scenarios, a lot of things going on with anywhere from sailors' experiences to just like moving from command to command. So it's a lot of stuff that we've both been through.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get into our first topic, and what I wanted to talk to you about is what's weighing on my heart. And let's go into who we are as a sailor. So I am an E6. I'm an AC1, and I am the CFL of my command, and on recruiting duty right now. And one of the and do you want to tell what your rate is?
Yeah, I'm a senior chief electronics technician. Been in Navy like about 24 years. I work at an N6 department that's special team, Special Boat Team 22, and here in South Mississippi.
Okay, so we have two very different leadership styles, very different views on the Navy. Somehow we make it work, but
totally different.
Totally different.
She's a hugger.
He's a crazy Cajun, in your face type of leader. I'm more of a diplomatic person, I guess. I don't know if any of my coworkers would say that or not. But anyway, what's been weighing heavy on my heart is I am the CFL for my command. And I have been suffering from, lower back pain. And it's getting to the point where I cannot run like I used to. In fact, every time we go running, it's like the next day or the rest of that day, I'm shot. I cannot walk. It just pounds on my back. And I am having the struggle right now, the internal struggle of going to a low impact cardio option. And
she's the young one.
I don't want to do it. But that's the struggle right now that we're going through, and that he's been helping me kind of overcome.
It's tough because I'm not a doctor. Just if it hurts, don't do it, because it's anything. I mean, especially if it's chronic pain, don't do it. It's not worth it. Not worth the rest of your life.
I mean, but how do you feel about me being the CFL and not being able to run my PRT?
You're a program manager as a CFL.
Yeah.
You know how to get people in shape, which you got me in a lot better shape. You know the rules and regulations, and you do a lot of research. And that's the hard part about being the CFL. Working out's the easy part. The hard part is managing the people, managing the program. That's the intense part. That's the part that gets people fired.
I don't know why I have it in my head. Like you got to be that hardcore sailor and run the PRT. Like a lot of people choose the low impact version. A lot of people do. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that they're less of a sailor.
No,
not at all. Less of an athlete or anything like that. But it really is weighing heavy. Like it's a hard decision for me to do that.
Well, your requirement to be a CFL was getting excellent on the PFA at school, doing the run. You did that. Right. You met the requirement. The Navy put these alternative cardio in place for people that are having chronic injuries. Yeah, there's some people that probably could do the run and choose not to, but it's for the people that have lower back pains or whatnot that keep them from doing the cardio run portion of the cardio and do an alternative option.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, when you see it on your prims or whatever, it doesn't like
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. An excellence, an excellent.
Or outstanding, an outstanding.
Outstanding is an outstanding.
You don't get excellence. Yeah. I get excellence. You get outstanding.
Well, I used to. Now I'm struggling on the run so bad. But I mean, that's just the kind of conversations that we have, like on the regular, about different situations we come across at work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. Especially, you know, dealing with, you know, she deals with civilians. I don't have to deal with civilians for the most part. I had civilian employees that work there, and they're fine, but they're most of them are retired military, so they get it. Mm-hmm. These kids straight out of high school or in high school, they don't get it. They haven't learned yet.
They're different. Yeah.
They're different.
It's a different
mentality.
Different than when we started the Navy, for sure.
Well,
that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just different.
Different challenges.
Yeah, different challenges
like
to overcome.
Like when I came in, everybody smoked pot. Everybody. Mm-hmm. So that was the challenge. I mean, we're all in decent shape because this was the late 90s. Mm-hmm. People got out and did things because they didn't have PS5s, PS4s, and things like that. And, you know, they didn't have, I sound like I'm an old man, but they didn't have, it wasn't rampant like it is now. I remember only like wealthy families had that stuff because it was really expensive for that day. So,
but it wasn't PS4. It was like Super Nintendo.
Not even that. Not even that. You're talking about like an NES.
That's what, when you came in the Navy.
No, they had these Sega Genesis. That was what they had. That was the big thing.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog, because PlayStation didn't come out till I was already in the Navy a little bit. I was like in A school or something when that came out. I remember a guy got it, and I thought it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The PlayStation. Now, 5 generations of PlayStation have been already developed. It's crazy.
That's weird. Yeah. I just think that you came in what year?
96.
96. Okay. And so I came in almost 10 years after you in 2005.
Right.
So the Navy that you came into is not the Navy that I knew
coming different.
In. And then now the Navy that these kids are coming into today is totally different.
Way different. I mean, we all dealt with like changes in the Navy the last 15 to 25 years. Everything has changed. I mean, I remember when I first got on a ship, the ship that I was on, which Abraham Lincoln, it just got outfitted to have females. Now a female on a ship is a normal. It's the most normal thing. It's the normal thing is having a guy on a ship.
Yeah.
There's no different.
And you think about it, those that are joining today never knew a Navy without females on subs, you know.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. I remember that was like unheard of.
And never. Or even, I remember when I first joined and I was like, am I going to go to war, like be on the front lines? And they're like, no, the Navy's not ready to see its daughters go to combat.
Right.
And now like they can be SEALs.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's little things like that people don't think about.
Yeah.
I remember just a generation before I came in. I mean, not even that long, maybe 5 years before I came in. Now you get popped for illegal drugs, you get kicked out. I remember people telling me, "Oh, it'd just be a slap on the wrist."
Yeah, I remember people telling me before, like they'd be on the back of the fan table smoking a joint.
Yeah.
And
or alcohol, like a DUI was just a step you went through in life. It wasn't a big deal. Now it's a career killer. It's changed, and that's good. Those are some good changes, I think. Mm-hmm. Great changes. You needed that. I mean, it's not the Wild West anymore. We need to.
So we talked about our very different leadership styles and how, so kind of to explain what type of leader do you think you are?
I think, like she said, I'm kind of an in-your-face kind of guy. Not that I'm mean or I yell at people. I don't do that. But if I have a problem with somebody, they need to know about it. I always wanted people to be upfront with me. If I'm jacked up, let me know I'm jacked up. Mm-hmm. Tell me, and I'll fix it. And that's how I deal with things. But another thing I really am good about doing when I was a younger guy, say a younger chief, you did it because I told you to do it. I've changed that because that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
That absolutely does not work in today's Navy.
At all.
Yeah.
You give the young sailors a buy-in. Mm-hmm. Why is this important? And treat them like a part of the solution. Like, how can we make this better?
I remember I was going through a leadership course. I don't remember what it was for, maybe to make first class or whatever. And they were like, used to it was do this because I said. and there's no other explanation. And now we got to say, like if I say, hey, shine the brass. Now there's the why. Why? Well, shine the, hey, everyone, the admiral's coming in, so I need you to shine the brass. So you just got to reword what you need everyone to do.
Definitely. Definitely. Especially when you're working with people that are under 30 and under. Older guys, it's different, or gals, it's different, but especially the ones that are younger, under 30, you really have to change your methodology on how to get them to do what you need them to do.
So other than being kind of in your face, or if I'm jacked up, what other type of leader?
Accountability.
Yeah.
Hold people accountable. And it doesn't have to be hell and brimstone every time they are late from work. And that's personally my pet peeve is punctuality. I'm not a get a haircut. That's important. But punctuality to me means you care enough about your job and about us as an organization to come to work on time. But even if it's not hell and brimstone, a simple, hey, whoever's late bringing donuts, something like that, or whoever, if it's a habitual problem, then you'll have to raise it up. And I probably actually counseled on paper maybe 3 people in my whole career.
So I guess what would you say, like back in your young Navy days, started your course to who you are now?
Probably a more senior E5. I realized real quick because I got thrown in the LPL position as an E5. And I remember to get people what I wanted, I had to make them feel like they were part of the solution. And they are. I'm not making them feel that way because they're not. No, they are. They just have to know that. Treat them like, hey, what do we need to do as a team? What do you think? No matter if they're E1 to E6 to E9, make them feel that they're part of the solution, especially the junior guys, because they're smart. They're just naturally smarter than we were when we came in.
Was it like a situation?
Oh, inspections, a big inspection. I remember I was sweating it because I was a calibration guy, and they were coming to check our whole program front to back. And I just got thrown in. I just got to the ships. I didn't know a lot about it. All my knowledge was in school. I had no practical knowledge. And there was a lot of kids out there, a lot of sailors that knew a lot about it. Hell, I was a kid at the time, so we were all kids. And I asked them, what do you think? They've been through this. What do you think we need to do better? And, we got through it. We actually did pretty well on it just by taking other people's inputs. And from then on, I was like, hey, this is a good way to do business. This works. People want to help you if they feel that they're going to be part of the solution. And that gives them self-gratification. And nobody joins something to fail. Everybody wants to win. Nobody says, I want to fail at this. That's why I'm giving up 4 years of my life to fail at something, or 6 years of your life, depending on what your rate is. So when they feel like they're part of the solution, they're going to try that much harder. They're going to think about it. Even after work, they'll think about how to improve the situation, or how to improve the process.
I think I'm a more strategic, or not strategic. I'm a more out of the box leader. Yep. So a lot of people don't get what I'm doing at first. That I learned from air traffic control, is putting like fastest, most expeditious route to the solution as possible. And sometimes to, those that are in the mix, that doesn't make sense. And so that's one of the struggles I deal with, I guess, in leadership, is that I'm not real up front with why we're doing things the way that we do. And a lot of times I butt heads with people because they're like, this is weird and this is out of the box and I don't understand the end game or what we're doing. And then, but it is the fastest way, and it's just putting the pieces to the puzzle. I see it in my head, and that's one of the ways that I think that one of the situations that has developed me as a leader. Right. And then as far as like working as a team, getting everyone on board, I've had numerous different leaders and mentors develop that portion of it, that portion that butts heads typically when I was a young sailor, to now I can usually mold the team, control the team.
Right. You are an out-of-box thinker, though. I've noticed that about you. Even at home, you're out the box. I'm more of a like I said, in your face. I'm just going to bull through it and get it done. And it works, but it's not always the best. I might catch some shrapnel on the way, but it's good maybe to maneuver, to juke a little bit here and there, as you say in sports, and to
Well, I was thinking about that this morning because it can be your greatest strength and also your greatest weakness because you won't think outside of the box. You're just like, this is the straight and narrow, and then I'm going to get there. And
that's true.
Come hell or high water, we're doing it this way, and it's going to work.
It's going to get done. Whether oh, my hair is jacked up on me. I'm sorry, but whether you want it to or not, in the wake of death and the death in my wake, carnage in my wake.
Yeah, but it is, a lot of times we're like, oh, just go in there and don't take no for an answer. And then you just keep like beating your head against the wall, against the wall. And you don't think of another way to skin the cat.
Right.
And that can be one of the greatest weaknesses, and I've been stubborn too. I've been real stubborn too, just this is the way it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. Yeah. And then it's hard to think outside the box when you get that blinders on,
especially when that's just one thing you got to knock out before you knock out 20 or 30 other things. Right. It's tough. You just want to put something behind you so you can move on, put it behind. I just want to get this behind me, then I can move on. And that's one thing down. And that usually feels so good. But like I said, sometimes you can't just go like a bull in a china shop and just wreck stuff. You got to you're right about maneuvering into the problem for a better, safer, expeditious outcome.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just saying that's what I do.
I mean, it's worked for me. The bull and china shop's kind of worked for me.
That's where
it worked for me.
It works. But the carnage left behind is one of the.
I never killed anybody doing it.
But did you die?
No. We don't kill you, makes you stronger, right?
Yeah. I think that's just some of the things that we bring to the table is just that different approach. And it's one of the things that makes us a really good couple because we come home, we bounce ideas off of each other. He'll say, this is what I want to do. I just want to power through. And I'm like, well, have you thought about this way? Or, even just like you telling me, about the low impact cardio. Like I just stubborn. Yeah. I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
In my head, somewhere along the way, I still am that old sailor mentality where you don't go to sick call, you don't go see the doc, you just beat your body down.
Power through it and then worry about the morning, worry about the next day.
Yeah,
right?
But guess what? You're right. Because guess what? You're right though, because if I can't run the next day, what's going to make me be able to run the next year and the next year and the next year? Eventually something's going to give. Yep. I got to stop being stubborn, I think. Got
to stop and not worry about, because I don't run it's not that you cannot run a PFA.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't run a PFA. So get off of that CFL thing about, am I a real CFL if I can't run the PFA? I've seen you run. I remember when you got back from Djibouti, I couldn't keep up with you.
Yeah, I mean,
whipping my butt like a minute better.
I was out there running with all those camel carcasses, camel carcasses, and whatever the heat was.
You got back to the land of the free and just smoke checked me. Woo. It was terrible. Well, for me, it was terrible. It was great for her. It was terrible for me. It was kind of embarrassing, actually, because I was smoking you before you left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I wish I could get back into that running shape, but it's something about those camel carcasses that really helps you to.
We should send you TAD to Djibouti, come back and beast.
Okay. Well, anyway, we just wanted to come on here and tell you what we're about, tell you why we're doing this, because, I have a couple of other podcasts. I have the CFL podcast, and I'm on the Savage Squad Outside the Uniform podcast, and Heath has been my biggest supporter, and he actually gives me a lot of advice behind the scenes. He's back there telling me which way we should go, which way would look right. And so I figured that he could offer that advice to you all, and that it would be kind of cool for him to participate.
That's cool.
Yeah.
First time ever.
So we do things like this all the time to spend time together. We make our job our life, or we make our life. No. How does it go?
We implement our personal life into our professional life. For example, she's a recruiter. I think you mentioned that, Navy recruiter. So she's in charge of the depth pool. So she beats them down every Tuesday and Thursday. And as long as I can get off work on time, I'll go work out with them, stuff like that.
And it's just, one one of the many ways that we have found, because our schedules are crazy. Our schedules are nuts, and the Navy seems to take up a lot of our time.
Yeah.
And where do we find time for each other and our marriage and development, as far as that goes, is to be a part of each other's work life.
Yep. That's the only way you can do it. I mean, nobody, like, dual military thing, it's not easy. Of course it's not easy, but anything's worthwhile is not easy. So for people to say, wow, that's impossible. No, it's because you got to make it a priority. You make time for things you care about, right? So I know a lot of people will spend hours on video games a day because it's important to them. Well, this is important to us. That's why we do it. And I'm going to do a plug. I'm going to send a plug for Jamie here. The CFL, Certified Fitness Leaders, right?
Yeah.
That is an outstanding workout forum. I'll tell you what, I've doing it since July. My cardio, my strength is night and day.
Yeah.
It's really, I've been doing it with them for a while, and I'll on the off days I'll go for a run or something. But I tell you, it's worth signing in and following them on that. It's a great, her and B Berg, her partner out of Port Orchard, Washington, killer job. And then the Savage Squad got her and the team Savage Squad do an excellent job. They have great guests on, out of uniforms, success stories. It's really inspiring. So I recommend everybody tune in if they get a chance.
And he's not just saying that because he's my husband.
I'm not just saying that.
He's
Actually,
also a fan.
I'm a fan. I love it. I wouldn't watch it if I didn't like it. I look forward to it. So
you wouldn't watch it just because I'm on there?
I would watch it. I'm not lying. I would watch it, but I would just, I wouldn't give the advice that I try to give them because I think it's really good and it can only get better. So
yeah, and that's what we wanted to bring to this.
Yeah,
that we wanted to bring Heath's thoughts and experience and his advice, and then just the situations, scenarios, questions that you have about dual military, about deployment, moving, marriage, kids. I'm not saying we're experts, but we got a lot of good advice, I think.
I think so. Look, we both
mentorship,
been through a lot. I've deployed. She's deployed. She deployed at 2 months after we got married, and I had to take care of business. So we both been through it. I think we do have some advice, and we're just here to help. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up, and we'll answer them on the next episode the best we can. The thing about it, we both know people.
Mm-hmm. So if we don't know the answer, we can
find it. We find the answer. It's not like
the old board answer. I don't know the answer to that question, but I will get back to you.
Definitely. And we know a lot of people that's been through this. That's the thing about the Navy. It's a network, and we've both been in the Navy for a minute, so we know a lot of people. So we definitely help out. So
remember, this is a Dear Abby type podcast. We want you to write to us. We want you to, and we don't have to say your name. We can just read the scenario, read the leadership problem or good stuff or whatever it may be.
Yeah, definitely.
And then just offer our unique perspective on it.
That's true. I'm more than happy to help. That's why we're doing this.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I think we should end it.
We end it right now. Take care, everybody.
All right.